Chapter 181. Pricing Change. Keeping all those premium items on the shelf was proving wasteful when he could be selling them at lower prices to improve the capabilities of powerful individuals within the kingdom. Powerful practitioners would make the kingdom stronger overall. Once the kingdom regained its strength and stability, it would naturally restore trading relationships with neighboring kingdoms. Economic recovery would follow military security, creating wealth that could support higher pricing in the future. By then, when he next returned to the human kingdom, he would have valid reasons to sell at the prices these items truly deserved. But for now, the kingdom needed strength more than he needed maximum profit per unit. The thought of lowering prices hadn't just occurred to Noah today. In fact, he had been considering this strategy adjustment for several days as evidence mounted about the economic limitations facing his customer base. Seeing Valeria's genuine distress at being unable to afford items that could transform her capabilities had cemented his decision. The guild master represented exactly the kind of person who would use permanent enhancement responsibly while contributing to kingdom defense. Noah looked at Valeria with determination about implementing price adjustments that would serve both his long-term business interests and the kingdom's immediate security needs. The time had come to adapt his pricing strategy to match the economic reality of his current market rather than maintaining artificial scarcity that served no productive purpose. As Valeria was about to leave, Noah made a decision that would reshape his business approach in the human kingdom. "Valeria, wait," he called, causing the guild master to pause at the door. He smiled before asking, "How much do you think would be a fair price that would help adept rank practitioners without burdening them so heavily that they can't afford enhancement?" Valeria's eyes lit up with sudden hope, her expression transforming from resigned disappointment to excitement. "Are you planning to reduce the price?" she asked, her voice trembling. Noah nodded with certainty. "I think it's time the human kingdom regains its earlier prosperity. Strong practitioners make for a strong kingdom." The strategic reasoning was sound. Investing in the kingdom's defensive capabilities now would pay dividends in future stability and economic growth that would support higher pricing later. Valeria immediately became excited. "An item like this," she began thoughtfully, her mind already calculating. "I think 100 golden coins would be accessible for most practitioners at adept rank or higher. Most have at least that much saved from successful missions." Her enthusiasm built as she continued. "Even 200 golden coins would work for serious practitioners. You're not just doing us an incredible favor that we'll never forget. You're doing the entire kingdom a service that could change our defensive capabilities." Noah considered her pricing suggestions carefully. Apprentice-rank practitioners wouldn't have immediate need for such powerful enhancement, making adept and master-level individuals his primary target market. 150 golden coins, right in the middle of her range. Fair for both parties. "Let's make it 150 golden coins," Noah decided. "That should be accessible to serious practitioners while still reflecting the item's value." Valeria's face broke into a smile of pure joy. Without hesitation, she reached for her coin pouch with hands that shook slightly from excitement. "I'll take an energy drink immediately," she declared, counting out the payment. "I believe that with this item, I might truly hit the pseudomaster rank." The transaction completed smoothly, with Valeria handling the bottle like precious treasure. "I'll bring some of my guild members to purchase items as well," she promised with obvious gratitude. "Word will spread quickly among serious practitioners." Noah nodded before checking his remaining stock levels. There are only 11 energy drinks left, along with full stocks of the other premium items. He turned toward Alyssa and Kip, noting their obvious interest in the enhancement items despite their careful silence during the pricing discussion. "Do you two have enough saved to purchase anything?" he asked gently. Both cat siblings looked down with obvious embarrassment at their financial limitations. "We have around 100 golden coins each," Alyssa admitted quietly. "Not quite enough for the new pricing. They're still building their savings from academy stipends and core sales." "Makes sense." Noah nodded with understanding before reaching for the premium display, retrieving 2 energy drinks without hesitation. "Here," he said simply, offering 1 bottle to each sibling. Both Alyssa and Kip stared at the gifts in shock, their senses confirming the genuine magical properties contained within each crystal bottle. "Master Noah, we can't accept," Alyssa began. "It's fine, just give me 25 golden coins each. I won't spoil you too much, just a little." He smiled. The pair immediately retrieved the money before giving him a quarter of their wealth. In Noah's mind, this was an investment in friends who've proven their loyalty and capability. He would have given it for free, but he wanted to teach the younglings that their hard work had been paying off and they were starting to become independent, even if it meant that they were only paying a little. Kip's eyes filled with tears of gratitude as he accepted the energy drink with care. "Thank you, Master Noah. This means more than you could know. You've already given us so much, whether it was the protein bar or the wind orb." "Thank you." Alyssa nodded with similar emotion, her usual composed demeanor cracking as she processed the magnitude of his generosity. Noah smiled before ruffling both of their heads. "It's okay. You will repay me once you reach the master rank and become powerhouses of this nation." They both nodded. Valeria stared at the scene with a soft smile. Noah was like the older brother that the cat siblings never had. With those transactions completed, Noah mentally cataloged his remaining premium inventory. 9 energy drinks remained available for sale, along with 12 beef jerky and 12 protein bars that would soon receive similar price adjustments. The pricing strategy represented a calculated investment in the kingdom's future rather than simple profit maximization. Enhanced practitioners would contribute to national defense, economic recovery, and political stability that would benefit everyone long-term. Lola observed the price adjustment with knowing approval. "Smart decision," she commented quietly. As Valeria prepared to depart with her purchases, her expression carried gratitude. She understood that Noah's pricing adjustment represented genuine support for the kingdom's recovery rather than a mere commercial transaction. "Thank you," she said with quiet dignity, "for everything. The kingdom won't forget this generosity. I will make sure to share this news with the powerful people who deserve strength in this kingdom." Chapter 182. Huge Profits. The next few hours passed with shocking speed, and the results were completely unlike what Noah had expected when he'd made his pricing decision. After Valeria left with her energy drink, she had clearly wasted no time spreading word about the price reduction throughout Esta's powerful practitioner community. Within an hour, she returned with everyone powerful in her guild. Adept-rank swordsmen, adept-level mages, and accomplished people who had saved substantial coin from successful missions. But Valeria hadn't stopped with her own organization. She had brought back representatives from other major guilds, independent practitioners, and many others. Most surprisingly, Princess Alara herself had arrived with a small retinue of royal guards and court mages, her presence lending official legitimacy to the occasion. "Noah." The princess greeted him with excitement. "Valeria told me about your pricing adjustment. This could revolutionize our kingdom's defensive capabilities." Every person who entered thanked Noah personally as they made their purchases, their gratitude reflecting genuine appreciation for making legendary enhancement accessible to serious practitioners rather than only the extraordinarily wealthy. The atmosphere in his shop had transformed from routine commerce into something approaching a celebration of national strengthening. Practitioners who had never dreamed of affording or spotting such permanent enhancement were suddenly able to improve their power. Before Noah fully comprehended what was happening, every single premium item in his inventory had been sold. All of it, gone. 9 energy drinks, 12 beef jerky packages, and 12 protein bars had found eager customers who understood exactly what permanent attribute enhancement could mean for their capabilities and survival. The income from premium sales alone was staggering, 4,950 golden coins from items that would have gathered dust at his original pricing structure. Noah gulped as he processed the astronomical figure. He had clearly been foolish to maintain Demon Kingdom pricing in a completely different economic environment. The massive sales volume at reduced prices had generated far more revenue than slow trickle sales at maximum cost. But premium items weren't his only success story during the unexpected rush. Those same customers had also purchased substantial quantities of his regular inventory. 32 additional loaves of bread and 16 bottles of iced tea. had found buyers among practitioners who wanted comprehensive enhancement rather than single-item improvement. His total golden coin income for the day had reached 5,190 coins, an amount that represented more wealth than most nobles accumulated in years of careful resource management. Noah stared at his updated status screen with amazement at how dramatically his financial situation had improved through strategic pricing adjustments. Host: Noah Carter. Age 28. Shop Level 2. Daily revenue: $295,000, or equivalent. Current assets: $1,118,640. Shop points: 6,360. Attributes: Strength, 30. Vitality, 30. Intelligence, 20. Agility, 30. Skills: Swordsmanship, Level 9. Mana Control, Level 8. Wind Manipulation, Level 8. Aura, Level 8. Body Tempering, Level 5. Surviving on Ramen, Level 3. Cooking, Level 3. Finance, Level 3. Programming, Level 2. Gaming, Level 2. His finance skill had leveled up to Level 3 after his decision. It was as if the system was rewarding him for the step he had taken. His current assets had skyrocketed to over $1 million, while his shop points had increased to 6,360. More than halfway toward the 10,000 required for shop Level 3 advancement. The automaker's progress showed improvement across all categories. Auto Iced Tea Maker Level 4. Production rate: 4 iced teas every hour. Max stock: 96 progress. 164/400. Auto Baker Level 4. Production rate: 8 loaves every hour. Max stock: 96 progress. 256/400. Auto Protein Bar Level 1. Production rate: 1 bar every 2 hours. Max stock: 12 progress. 16/100. Auto Energy Drink Level 1. Production rate: 1 energy drink every 2 hours. Max stock: 12 progress. 13/100. Auto Beef Jerky Level 1. Production rate: 1 beef jerky every 2 hours. Max stock: 12 progress. 13/100. The bread and iced tea makers showed substantial advancement toward their next levels, while even their premium automakers had gained meaningful progress from the day's unprecedented sales volume. Princess Alara approached as the crowd began dispersing, her expression carrying satisfaction that transcended personal enhancement. "You've done something remarkable today," she said with genuine appreciation. "The practitioners who bought your items represent the kingdom's defensive backbone. Their enhancement will strengthen our entire kingdom." Noah nodded, naturally understanding the strategic implications beyond simple profit generation. The success had validated Noah's instinct that strategic pricing could generate better results than rigid profit maximization. Volume sales at accessible prices had created more revenue, stronger customer relationships, and a genuine contribution to kingdom security. Most importantly, the enhanced practitioners would spread word about what had transpired today throughout the realm's magical community, creating a customer base that would support sustainable business growth as the kingdom's economy recovered. The day's events had transformed Noah from a shopkeeper with interesting products into a genuine contributor to national defense, while simultaneously advancing his personal financial goals through adaptation to market conditions. As he surveyed his empty displays, Noah smiled with satisfaction at having discovered the optimal balance between profit and purpose that would serve his interests in the human kingdom. After everyone had left and the shop had returned to relative quiet, Princess Alara lingered behind while the others departed with their precious items. They were all busy individuals, and they still needed to consume the item and perhaps try to gain more benefit from it than just eating it now. Some decided to head to fight creatures that had been too difficult for them before, whilst others had a different purpose. She reached into her pocket and withdrew a storage ring, extending it toward Noah. "What's this?" Noah asked, accepting the elegant ring with curiosity about its contents. Alara smiled with a pleased expression. "You forgot already? This is your reward from Baron Richard's investigation." He had amassed an incredible amount of wealth from ripping off both the extremists and his fellow humans. The confiscated assets from the conspiracy. Right? Even after paying back all those he had wronged, she continued, satisfied that justice had been served. She paused for a second before continuing. There were still around 1,000 golden coins remaining, and as father had promised, these are yours. Chapter 183, Noah's New Estate. 1,000 golden coins represented substantial wealth even by his current standards, equivalent to roughly $100,000 in Earth currency. Baron Richard's criminal profits turned into legitimate profits just like he had planned. Poetic justice. Furthermore, Alara added with building excitement, my father also told me to let you know that the Viscount's estate has been completely cleared and prepared for your use. You can move in whenever you want. Noble estate. Her amber eyes sparkled with curious anticipation as she made her next suggestion. In fact, would you like to check it out now? I could show you around the grounds personally. Noah considered the invitation carefully. His shop was completely sold out of inventory. The opportunity to inspect his new noble property with the princess didn't seem too bad. Perfect timing. Nothing left to sell, and I should probably see what I actually own. Perhaps I could sell it later. That sounds like an excellent idea, he replied with growing interest. I should probably familiarize myself with the property before making any decisions about actually living there. Princess Alara's smile widened with obvious pleasure at his acceptance. Wonderful. It's only about 10 minutes from here. The estate is quite impressive. The Viscount spared no expense when he built it with his ill-got gains. Noah turned toward Lola, who had been observing their conversation with amused interest from behind the counter. You can close the shop whilst I'm gone. There is no need for you to work. It's not your shift time, he said. All right, I will be in my room when you are done. Also, take your time exploring your new domain, Lord Viscount, she said before winking. She's never going to let me forget about the noble title. Noah secured the shop and joined Princess Alara outside, where a royal carriage waited with discreet guards positioned for security without ostentation. As they settled into the comfortable interior, Alara provided additional details about his new estate. The estate includes the main manor house, extensive gardens, productive farmland, and several outbuildings that could serve various purposes, she explained. The farmland alone generates enough revenue to maintain the grounds and provide comfortable living expenses. You won't need to rely entirely on your shop income for basic needs. The carriage rolled through Esta streets toward the outskirts, where noble estates provided space for the kind of expansive properties that demonstrated wealth and status. Arriving at the estate, Noah raised an eyebrow in genuine surprise at the impressive sight before him. The main manor house looked like a castle straight from those medieval shows he'd watched on Earth. Elegant stone architecture with graceful towers, arched windows, and detailed stonework. The building was incredibly spacious, with dozens of rooms spread across multiple floors. This is what noble wealth looks like. That Viscount definitely lived well on his criminal profits. Princess Alara led him inside the manor house, and the interior only increased his amazement at the property's quality and attention to detail. The furniture maintained perfect consistency with medieval aesthetics while clearly representing the finest available craftsmanship. Everything had been maintained in spotless condition. It was clear that the king had made sure that it was ready for new ownership. They really prepared this place thoroughly. No expense spared in making it ready for occupancy. Everything looked perfect for someone wanting to live like authentic medieval nobility, but Noah's modern sensibilities immediately identified several troublesome aspects that would require attention. The toilets weren't great. Naturally, in a medieval setting, they lacked the modern conveniences that made personal hygiene comfortable and sanitary. Medieval plumbing, definitely not up to standards. However, Noah wasn't particularly worried about such practical challenges. If he decided to make the manor house his holiday residence in this place, he would naturally upgrade the facilities himself using knowledge from Earth. All he needed was to develop skills in plumbing, electrical work, and various other real-world engineering disciplines before implementing improvements or teaching local craftsmen how to install modern conveniences. Learning Earth skills to upgrade the magical world infrastructure. That's actually an interesting project. But I will have to delay it for now. I don't have the time or need for it currently. In fact, improving the estate had been part of his long-term vision for quite some time. He planned to acquire crucial technical skills from modern Earth and introduce them to this magical world, believing that the combination of magic and technology could create something truly extraordinary. Magical enhancement of modern engineering. The possibilities are endless. The gardens, productive farmlands, and various outbuildings spanned across 10 acres of well-maintained property, a significant estate by any reasonable standard. The agricultural land alone could generate substantial income, while the gardens provided both beauty and potential agricultural opportunities. Perhaps Noah could plant his own fruits to harvest. After completing their tour of the extensive grounds, Elara presented him with the keys and all relevant documentation before offering to transport him back to his shop. Before she departed, Noah made an important announcement about his business plans. The pricing event that occurred today will continue for a few more days. You can bring whoever you think would truly benefit the kingdom's security and prosperity. He paused to emphasize the security considerations that came with such powerful items. Make sure that they are trustworthy and loyal. We don't want to accidentally strengthen potential enemies or people who might misuse permanent enhancement. Princess Elara's face brightened with obvious happiness at the news, understanding that continued access to legendary enhancement items could transform the kingdom's capabilities. I will discuss this with my father once I return immediately. Thank you once again for your contributions to our kingdom, Noah. Royal gratitude and continued partnership. Excellent foundation for future business relationships. Noah nodded with satisfaction at their collaboration before stepping out of the carriage and returning to his shop. Back inside his familiar business environment, he faced a pressing decision about how to invest his dramatically improved financial resources. Two attractive options demanded consideration, each offering different advantages. Chapter 184, Rice Cakes. Option 1 involved purchasing the fourth item from his shop upgrade slot, which would introduce intelligence-enhancing consumables that complemented his existing product line perfectly. If he bought this item immediately, it would initially remain on display until purchased. Lola could buy the first unit, triggering the automaker system that would produce 12 items by tomorrow. Each item would sell for 150 golden coins based on his new pricing strategy. 12 items at 150 coins each equals 1,800 golden coins gross revenue. After accounting for 1 unit for personal consumption and another for Lola's daily salary compensation, 10 units would generate 1,500 golden coins in sales revenue, recovering half the 3,000 golden coin investment cost in a single day. Return on investment within 48 hours, plus ongoing daily income of 150 golden coins. Option 2 involved purchasing the idle room upgrade for $1 million, which would provide automated optimization of his business operations but wouldn't generate immediate revenue or expand his product offerings. Instead, it would allow him to speed his skill levels, albeit he didn't know by how much. Skill upgrade versus product diversification. Both have merit. After considering both options carefully, Noah decided that immediate product expansion offered better strategic value than operational automation. When tomorrow's sales began generating revenue from the new product line, he could then afford the idle room upgrade while also benefiting from expanded inventory options. Sequential investment. New product first, then operational upgrades. The decision also came down to the fact that he really had no need to increase his power rapidly at this time. He had a master-level succubus with him, and he was practically immortal inside the shop. As for Earth, unless he was shot by heavy machinery or there were hidden practitioners like him, he doubted that there would be a need for such a thing. With his decision made, Noah accessed his shop upgrade interface and selected the fourth item for purchase. Item 4. Rice Cakes. Effects. Increases intelligence attribute by 50% for 20 minutes. Permanently increases intelligence attribute by 10 upon first consumption. Price. $300,000. After buying the rice cake, the item materialized on his shelf once again, just like all his system-generated products. Noah grabbed the rice cake and made his way to the second floor, remembering that Lola had mentioned she would be upstairs once he returned from the estate tour. The second floor maintained the privacy arrangements the system had created for employee accommodation. Noah approached Lola's room with the new product sample in his storage ring, intending to offer her first purchase rights as usual. He knocked on her door softly with courtesy, just in case she was asleep. "Lola? Are you asleep?" The door opened to reveal Lola wearing an expression that immediately made Noah's pulse quicken. Her ruby eyes carried a mischievous look while a knowing smirk played across her lips, creating an atmosphere that made Noah's body tense. The tension radiating from her presence made him pause uncertainly at the doorstep. I'll come back another time," Noah said, already beginning to turn away from whatever game she was clearly planning. But before he could retreat to safer territory, Lola's hand shot out and grasped his wrist with gentle but firm pressure. She guided him inside her room. Clink. The door closed, and Noah was stuck with her inside the room. "Where are you going? Don't you want to see the present I promised you?" she asked, her voice dropping to the seductive whisper that always made his concentration waver. The way she emphasized present carried thoughts that sent Noah's heart rate climbing several beats per minute despite his attempts to maintain composure. I'll look at it another time," he muttered, his calm voice not betraying the nervousness he was feeling. Seeing his reaction to her deliberate provocation, Lola couldn't contain herself any longer. She burst into genuine laughter that filled the room with musical sound, her carefully constructed seductive atmosphere dissolving into pure amusement at his expense. "She's been playing with me this entire time." Again, the realization that he'd fallen for another of her teasing schemes triggered something in Noah that had been building through a week of similar incidents. Instead of retreating in embarrassment as usual, he felt a surge of determination to turn the tables for once. Without warning, Noah stepped forward and grasped both her shoulders, using his strength to gently but firmly push her backwards until she was pressed against the wall. The sudden role reversal caught Lola completely off guard. Her ruby eyes widened with shock as she processed this unprecedented show of boldness from someone who typically retreated from her advances. What are you?" she began, her usual confident persona cracking as the tables turned unexpectedly. Noah leaned in closer, bringing his face near hers intimately. His movements were slow and tense. Lola's breathing quickened as she interpreted his advance, her eyes fluttering closed as she leaned forward slightly, clearly expecting the kiss that seemed inevitable given their position. But the kiss never came. When she opened her eyes after several moments of anticipation, she found Noah wearing a triumphant smirk that mirrored her own typical expression after successful teasing. "That's what you get for constantly teasing me," he declared with satisfaction at finally managing to turn one of her games against her. "Hey, that's mean," Lola pouted with indignation, though the smile breaking through her outrage revealed genuine appreciation for his unexpected boldness. This young boss is really getting bolder, she thought with pleased surprise. He is no longer the shy merchant who used to blush at every comment. The successful countertease had changed their growing relationship in subtle but meaningful ways, demonstrating that Noah was developing confidence that matched his growth. After enjoying his moment of triumph, Noah stepped back and retrieved the rice cake from his inventory, returning their interaction to business matters with a smooth transition, as if the earlier tension between them had never occurred. Chapter 185 Grandmaster. "I actually came here to show you this," he explained, presenting the new product. "It's called Rice Cake, increases intelligence by 10 permanently, same enhancement as the other items. Would you like to buy it? New product launch with my most reliable customer and employee." Lola examined the rice cake with obvious interest, her enhanced senses detecting the concentrated magical properties contained within what appeared to be simple food. "How much?" she asked, though her tone suggested she was already committed to making the purchase regardless of price. "However much you want to pay," Noah replied with the generosity he typically showed toward his most valued ally and employee. Lola considered the offer thoughtfully, her expression suggesting careful calculation of fair value rather than an attempt to exploit his generosity. "Well, I have a decent amount of golden coins saved up, she mused aloud. I don't have much use for them in normal circumstances, so 600 again. Noah smiled at the fact that she was still willing to pay a premium price despite the flexibility of his offer. It showed how genuine she was as a person. Her daily salary was astonishingly high, yet she never took it for granted. Noah had saved her from certain death, given her shelter, and offered her a job, humble in title but priceless in value, something even emperors envy. Deal, he agreed. The transaction completed their interaction on a positive note, with both parties satisfied by the exchange. Noah, with his successful product launch and revenge for countless teasing incidents, and Lola, with her new item and appreciation for his developing confidence. Lola's expression suddenly turned serious as she held the rice cake, her ruby eyes glinting slightly. I will be in seclusion for the next few hours. I want to break through to the Grandmaster rank. I believe I can achieve it after consuming this enhancement along with the other items I've saved from my daily salary. Grandmaster rank. That's an enormous advancement, but it makes sense. She isn't a normal master-level mage. Noah raised an eyebrow with genuine surprise at the ambitious nature of her goal. Breakthrough attempts between major ranks carried substantial risks, especially when attempting to reach the legendary Grandmaster level that few practitioners ever achieved. Take your time with the process. Don't rush anything for the sake of work obligations. The shop can wait. Your well-being is more important. Noah said immediately, feeling concerned for her safety during such a dangerous endeavor. She's risking everything for advancement. I need to make sure she has every possible safety measure. His protective instincts kicked in as he considered the complications that could arise during forced breakthrough attempts. You can reopen for business once you're completely finished and feeling stable. If you feel fatigued afterwards, or if anything goes wrong during the process, use any items from the shop that might help. He continued, emphasizing that her personal condition had more priority over the shop's night shift. You can use the items in the shop as emergency healing. Beefy jerky, anything that can help. Enhancement could be crucial if the breakthrough strains your constitution beyond normal limits. Better safe than sorry. The genuine worry in his voice and actions sent unexpected warmth flooding through Lola's chest. In her years of existence, few people had ever expressed such sincere concern for her personal safety. He's worried about me. Not because I'm useful to his business, but because he actually cares about my well-being. Most relationships in her experience had been transactional, allies who valued her power, enemies who feared her, or admirers who desired her supernatural beauty. But Noah's concern transcended such superficial considerations. He sees me as someone worth protecting rather than just a powerful tool to be utilized. The realization that someone cared about her survival for purely personal reasons rather than value created emotional responses she hadn't experienced in decades. The master-level succubus found herself momentarily speechless at the depth of consideration he was showing. When was the last time anyone worried about my safety? Has anyone ever cared this much? Thank you. Your concern means more than you might realize, she whispered softly, her voice carrying emotion that went far beyond gratitude. The moments stretched between them. Noah's protective instincts had revealed the depth of genuine care that was developing between them. I'll be extremely careful, she promised with sincerity that reflected her appreciation for his worry. Why does he treat me so kindly? He's making me fall for him more and more. Noah nodded with obvious relief at her commitment to safety before stepping toward the door to give her the privacy such intensive work required. Good luck with the advancement. I know you'll achieve Grandmaster rank. You have the skill and determination to succeed, he said with a captivating smile that stole her breath and a thumbs up. After leaving Lola to her breakthrough preparations, Noah found himself with several hours of unexpected free time while his employee focused on magical advancement. Looking at the time, he decided this represented an excellent opportunity to work on his own development. Time to focus on swordsmanship advancement while Lola handles her breakthrough. Noah made his way to his estate, which had a clear, open area where he could practice intensive sword work without disturbing others or damaging property. The manual Lola had given him days ago remained in his storage ring, containing techniques that would allow him to reach the pinnacle of adept-rank swordsmanship more efficiently than standard training methods. Advanced techniques should accelerate my progression toward apprentice rank significantly. He wanted to reach level 10 swordsmanship if possible, officially advancing from novice to apprentice rank before the mysterious tournament that Master Yamamoto had invited him to join. The training session would serve multiple purposes: personal advancement, productive use of available time, and preparation for challenges that would test every aspect of his developing capabilities. Drawing his practice sword in the open field, Noah opened the advanced manual and began studying techniques that would push his swordsmanship beyond its current limitations. Chapter 186. Level 10 Swordsmanship Skill. Noah opened the advanced manual that Lola had provided, its pages filled with detailed illustrations and descriptions of sword stances. The manual was organized into 3 distinct sections corresponding to major skill ranks. Time to see what separates novices from apprentice swordsmen. He began by skimming through the novice section. His experience and knowledge allowed him to skim through the techniques and principles that had once seemed impossibly complex. To his surprise, most of the foundational material felt familiar rather than challenging. I've already mastered these basics through weeks of intensive training with Master Tanaka, coupled with the hunting sessions with Valeria and Lola. Footwork patterns, basic striking sequences, defensive positioning. All the fundamental elements that formed novice-rank swordsmanship had become second nature through dedicated practice and physical power. The realization that he had progressed beyond basic instruction filled Noah with confidence as he turned to the apprentice-level section, where real learning would begin. This is where the manual's true value reveals itself. The apprentice techniques immediately proved far more demanding than anything he had previously attempted. Complex combination attacks that required precise timing, advanced defensive maneuvers, integrated with footwork, blade positioning, and reflexes that demanded split-second decision-making. Whoosh! His first attempt at the threading needle technique, a precise thrust designed to exploit gaps in enemy defenses, resulted in completely missing his intended target. The coordination required between enhanced attributes and refined techniques proved more challenging than expected. This is going to take serious work. For the next hour, Noah struggled with movements that seemed simple in illustration but demanded extraordinary accuracy in execution. The flowing river combination required seamless transitions between 7 different strikes, each building momentum for the next while maintaining perfect balance. Crash! His sword struck the ground as he overcompensated during a spinning transition. But gradually, through persistent repetition and careful attention to the manual's detailed instructions, Noah began finding the rhythm that allowed his body to work with rather than against the sword technique. Swish! Crack! The mountain cleaver downward strike finally achieved the devastating force the manual promised. His strength was fully channeled through perfect form to create attacks that would shatter large boulders. The wind step evasion technique took even longer to master, requiring him to have more control over his footwork. Whoosh! When he finally executed the technique correctly, Noah found himself moving faster than he had imagined possible at his level. His agility was utilized properly through the footwork technique that strengthened him even more. Noah began to understand what being an apprentice meant. It didn't just mean having a more powerful body, whether it was faster, stronger, or healthier. It was also about learning how to effectively utilize your current power and bring out its utmost potential. The second hour of training brought breakthrough moments as his muscle memory began incorporating the advanced techniques into instinctive responses. The previously complex combinations now flowed more naturally, while defensive positioning became more instinctive rather than a conscious effort. Swish! Crack! Whoosh! All right, let's try this out, Noah muttered before closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. After exhaling, his eyes snapped open, and he began. A complete apprentice-level sequence, attack, counter, evasion, and follow-up strike was executed perfectly, marking his true advancement beyond novice limitations. Your swordsmanship skill has reached level 10. The transformation his body had undergone became immediately visible to Noah. After all, the feeling was overwhelming and impossible to ignore. Power surged through Noah's body like lightning as his body adapted to handle capabilities that transcended normal humans. His muscles felt denser, more responsive, while his nervous system processed movement commands with supernatural speed that made the world seem to slow around him. Host: Noah Carter. Age 28. Shop Level 2. Daily revenue: $355,000 or equivalent. Current assets: $86,001,640. Shop points: 6370. Attributes: Strength: 60. Vitality: 30. Intelligence: 20. Agility: 60. Skills: Swordsmanship, Level 10. Mana Control, Level 8. Wind Manipulation, Level 8. Aura, Level 8. Body Tempering, Level 5. Surviving on Ramen, Level 3. Cooking, Level 3. Finance, Level 3. Programming, Level 2. Gaming, Level 2. 60 points in both strength and agility. Feels amazing, Noah thought as he inspected his new body. Noah felt power rampaging through his body, every muscle fiber rebuilt to handle forces that would have destroyed his previous constitution. The sensation was intoxicating, like wearing a suit of power that responded to his slightest intention. Time to test my new power. He raised his practice sword and executed a simple horizontal swing, channeling his doubled strength through his now refined technique. Whoosh! The air parted with a sound far more audible than anything he had produced before. The displaced atmosphere created visible disturbance, while the sword's passage generated pressure waves. That's not just double strength. The enhancement multiplied my combat power aggressively. His speed proved even more remarkable than raw power. When Noah attempted basic footwork, his new agility carried him across distances that should have required multiple steps. His movement was no longer the same. I need to get used to this gradually. Despite the dramatic enhancement, Noah understood that reaching apprentice rank in swordsmanship alone didn't grant complete apprentice-level power. True rank advancement requires comprehensive development across all related skills. Although I could definitely kill that Crimson Horn Bear much more easily now, this still isn't my full potential at the apprentice rank. He needed to advance his aura skill to level 10 to achieve genuine apprentice rank capabilities that integrated all aspects of his combat development. Only then would he truly possess the power that the rank represented. Aura advancement next. Then I'll have the power of an apprentice-level swordsman. Still, the current enhancement was nothing to dismiss lightly. With the base power, speed, and skill set of an apprentice swordsman, Noah felt incredibly satisfied with his advancement toward tournament readiness. A few more days until the tournament. The training session had achieved everything he'd hoped for while revealing new goals that would push his development even further. Chapter 187. Ethan's Team. After his remarkable advancement to apprentice rank, Noah decided it was time to return to the shop, check on Lola's breakthrough progress, and then head home for some well-deserved rest after such an intensive day. The walk back felt different with his new attributes. Each step carried him further than expected, while his heightened awareness made him notice details in the environment that had previously escaped his attention. Moving with 60 points in agility takes adjustment. Everything feels effortless but almost too responsive. Noah thought, a smile on his face. He wasn't complaining about the boost, not at all. Arriving at his shop, Noah found the space empty and quiet. Lola wasn't behind the counter, and the closed sign remained in place, indicating that her advancement attempt was still ongoing. She's been at this for around 2 hours. Grandmaster Breakthrough must be incredibly demanding. He made his way upstairs slowly, taking care not to create any noise that might disturb her concentration during such a critical process. Rank advancement required complete focus, and interruptions could prove dangerous or even fatal. Outside her room, Noah found the door slightly ajar, allowing him to check on her condition without intrusion. Through the gap, he could see Lola maintaining perfect meditative posture, her body radiating so much energy that it made Noah's eyes widen. If he had to put it into words, she was like a small sun radiating energy all over the room. Still in deep meditation, the beef jerky remains untouched beside her, which suggests everything is proceeding normally. The beef jerky's presence by her side provided reassurance that she had emergency healing available if complications arose during the breakthrough attempt. Her steady breathing and stable posture indicated that the process was demanding but proceeding safely. Noah smiled with relief at her apparent stability and decided not to worry about the extended duration. Grandmaster advancement naturally required substantial time investment, often lasting many hours for particularly challenging transitions. She's handling it well. Better to let her finish without interference. Returning downstairs to the main shop area, Noah found himself staring thoughtfully at his inventory displays. The day's events had reminded him of family members who could benefit from his products, particularly his cousin Ethan. Ethan's type 1 diabetes. I've been meaning to address that. His cousin had been managing the chronic autoimmune condition for some time now, requiring constant monitoring and insulin management that significantly impacted his quality of life. While modern medicine could control the symptoms, it couldn't cure the underlying immune system dysfunction. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. Maybe the bread's healing could help restore proper immune function. Noah considered his options between beef jerky and healing bread. The bread's 30% healing acceleration might help his cousin's immune system recover proper function, while the beef jerky's permanent vitality enhancement could strengthen his overall constitution and cure him. Start with bread first. If it doesn't work, then I will use the beef jerky. There is no need to jump to the beef jerky just yet. He decided to begin with the healing bread, reasoning that the temporary enhancement would provide insight into whether magical healing could address autoimmune conditions without the permanent commitment that beef jerky represented. Having nothing to lose and a sick cousin to potentially heal, it's worth trying. Noah carefully selected one of his loaves and stored it in his dimensional ring, planning to visit Ethan tomorrow after school or perhaps drop by their family home during his free time. Tomorrow I'll test whether magical healing can help with his conditions. With his family stuff planned, Noah secured the shop and made his way home to his comfortable house. The day had been extraordinarily productive, whether it was the estate tour, the massive sales success, or the swordsmanship advancement. Time to process everything that happened today. I've advanced far beyond what I thought possible. At home, Noah headed straight for the shower to wash away the dirt and sweat accumulated during his intensive sword training. The hot water felt amazing against his body. After cleaning up thoroughly, he changed into fresh, comfortable clothes. The evening routine felt luxurious compared to his previous struggles with poverty and uncertainty. Having a real home, financial security, and with his dad healthy by his side, everything felt complete in ways Noah had never imagined possible. Real stability, not just surviving, but actually thriving. Noah settled at his desk, wanting to relax and decompress after such an intensive day. He powered up his gaming setup, looking forward to an hour of simple entertainment before heading to sleep. Just because he could practice magic and operate a shop in another world didn't mean he would discard the enjoyable aspects of his previous life. Gaming, family time, and normal Earth activities remained important for maintaining balance and connection to his roots. Logging into the game, Noah immediately noticed that Ethan was online and currently in a group with several other players. He's probably training with that esports team that offered him the contract. He mentioned they had practice sessions scheduled. During their family dinner, Ethan had enthusiastically explained how the professional team required extensive coordination practice to prepare for upcoming tournaments. The opportunity represented exactly the kind of career breakthrough his cousin had been working toward. Better not disturb his professional training. Solo queue for me tonight. Noah queued up for a solo match, settling back in his chair as the familiar interface searched for opponents of appropriate skill level. Meanwhile, across the city in his family's modest apartment, Ethan sat focused at his computer with intense concentration that had become his trademark during play. Whenever his viewers on the stream saw that look, they called him Locked in Larry. "All right, team, remember our strategy for this map," called the team captain through voice chat. "Ethan, you'll be handling the aggressive flanking routes we practiced yesterday." "Got it, Captain," Ethan replied. His positioning and timing have been improving consistently under the training he had been undergoing. Chapter 188. Ethan versus Noah. The other professional players chimed in with confirmations, their coordination showing the difference that separated amateur enthusiasts from tournament-level competitors. World Championship qualification is only 3 weeks away. Their captain reminded them, every practice session matters for fine-tuning our team synergy. World Championship, the biggest tournament in their game's competitive scene. Ethan felt his heartbeat quicken with anticipation at the stakes involved. Qualifying for World Championship would transform his gaming hobby into a legitimate career opportunity while providing financial security for himself. Naturally, Ethan, who was in his teenage years, wanted to have the freedom to buy the things he wanted without worrying about burdening his family. Whilst they were well off, they weren't in a position to get him what he wanted, like the new sneakers that dropped, or various other things that people at his age wanted. Furthermore, seeing his cousin's success drove Ethan to become a better version of himself, to reach the heights that his cousin did, to become rich and bless his family and perhaps one day pay back Noah for what he had done for him. "Let's show them what we can do," Ethan said with determination, too engrossed in team preparation. The matchmaking algorithm worked its magic, balancing skill levels and connection quality to create fair, competitive matches for hundreds of thousands of simultaneous players. Match found. Entering in 3, 2, 1. Both Noah and Ethan's professional teams received the same notification simultaneously, neither realizing that family members were about to compete against each other in what would become an unexpectedly personal gaming session. The loading screen displayed team compositions while players prepared for battle. "Remember, stay grouped and communicate everything," the captain instructed as the match environment loaded around both teams. They were currently in a 5v5 tactical shooter mode where coordination and precise aim determined victory. The high-stakes competitive format demanded both individual skill and team strategy to succeed against organized opponents. The round began with the familiar tension that characterized serious competitive play. Ethan's team had been assigned to the attacking side for the first half, requiring them to coordinate pushes against defensive positions while managing limited resources. Ethan, still completely engrossed with his team's tactical discussions, hadn't bothered checking the opposing roster. Even if he had examined individual player names, Noah's streamer mode would have hidden his actual username behind generic placeholder text. Basic Weapons First Round called their in-game leader as the team purchased standard weapons and utility items. Save economy for better equipment in Round 2. Ethan's professional team moved together toward their designated attack routes, their training evident in smooth positioning and timing that amateur teams rarely achieved. Meanwhile, on the defending side, Noah coordinated with his randomly matched teammates about defensive positioning. "I'll handle the common choke point," Noah announced, selecting a defensive position that would utilize his agent's special abilities effectively. "My kit works well for slowing pushes through that corridor." His enhanced reflexes and agility translated remarkably well to competitive gaming, providing reaction times that were much higher compared to normal human capabilities. The attack began with Ethan's team executing a coordinated multi-site assault designed to overwhelm defensive positions through simultaneous pressure. But while they focused their main push on one side of the map, a flanking player attempted to breach Noah's defensive position. Pop! Noah's enhanced reaction time allowed him to eliminate the flanking attacker with precision that would have impressed professional players. His aim adjustment appeared at speeds that seemed almost fake in their perfection. "Nice pick," called one of his teammates. "That stops their split push completely." But the celebration proved premature as reports came in from across the map. "For people," called another defender. "They broke through the main site." Noah found himself alone against Ethan's remaining 4 teammates, who had successfully eliminated his allies and planted the explosive device that would secure round victory unless he could achieve an improbable comeback. Noah made his way towards the site where the plant was bombed. As he made his way, one of the team members encountered Noah, and they immediately started shooting. Pop! Headshot! The first elimination came as Noah's aim allowed him to get the pick quickly. Unfortunately, the kill didn't come for free. The other player had hit a body shot, which made his health lower. Pop! Pop! Another down. His supernatural aim consistency continued as hand-eye coordination made shots that should have been difficult feel like aimbot. "What the hell?" came a voice from the attacking team's voice chat. This guy's aim is insane. But professional teams earned their reputation through tactical superiority rather than individual skill alone. As Noah moved for his third elimination, the remaining attackers established a crossfire position that made an approach impossible without exposing himself to multiple angles simultaneously. Pop! Noah managed to eliminate the third opponent but found himself caught in the prepared crossfire setup, with his low health too. His reflexes were insufficient to overcome the positioning and tactical advantage. Good round, Ethan called to his team as they secured the victory. That defender had incredible aim, but our coordination pulled us through. The game continued through multiple rounds, with Noah's aim creating spectacular individual performances that kept his team competitive despite facing a professional team. His reflexes allowed him to win impossible clutch situations. 5 rounds where he eliminated entire enemy teams single-handedly when his teammates fell early. But while Noah's enhanced agility provided incredible aim and reaction time, his positioning, game sense, and tactical knowledge remained at amateur levels that professional teams could exploit through superior strategy. After 12 rounds, the scoreboard showed 7-5 in favor of Ethan's professional team. The agility stat had kept Noah competitive, but coordinated teamwork and professional-level game knowledge provided advantages that individual skill couldn't overcome with mere reflexes. They're better as a team. My agility boost could only go so far against such high-level execution and knowledge of the map. Noah thought, sighing at the inevitable loss situation he was thrust into. The problem was that 2 members of his team were actually drunk. Chapter 189. Ethan versus Noah 2. As teams swapped sides for the second half, Noah checked the scoreboard with mixed feelings about his performance. His individual statistics were impressive, but the team score reflected the reality of competing against organized professionals with 2 drunkards. Fortunately, something positive emerged from those challenging 12 rounds of competition. Your gaming skill has reached level 3. Throughout those same 12 rounds, Noah had gradually learnt some good positioning and tactical things from the other team. During those rounds, he had also checked the usernames of those against him. They weren't weak at all, and he was shocked. He was up against his own cousin's professional team. The discovery added personal stakes to what had been simple evening entertainment, though Noah's streamer mode continued hiding his identity from the opposing team. Meanwhile, in Ethan's team chat, animated discussions centered on their mysterious opponent's capabilities. That defender's aim is absolutely insane, the captain observed with professional appreciation mixed with suspicion. I'm starting to wonder if he's using assistance software. His crosshair placement is perfect, added another teammate. Every shot lands exactly where he aims, like he's got some kind of aimbot running. Ethan nodded in agreement, having witnessed several impossible shots that defied normal human reaction time. What's weird is that his game sense doesn't match his aim. His positioning and decision-making are maybe semi-professional level at best. That's what's throwing them off. Enhanced reflexes without corresponding game knowledge. Semi-pros don't have aim like that, the coach interjected from his observer position. Something doesn't add up about this player. Should we report for investigation? Asked their support player. Let's finish the match first, the captain decided. If he's cheating, the anti-cheat system will catch it. If he's legitimate, we're witnessing something incredible. The professional team had been forced to completely adjust their strategy, focusing multiple players on neutralizing Noah's position specifically rather than executing the tactical setups they had practiced. The attacking portion began with a completely transformed dynamic. Noah's team, having witnessed his incredible individual performances during 5 impossible clutch situations, now regarded him with the respect typically reserved for those at the top. "All right, what's the plan?" asked his team's entry fragger, his tone carrying deference that hadn't existed at the match's beginning. "Yeah, you've been carrying us hard," added another teammate. "We'll follow your calls." He had complete trust from random teammates. That's what clutching 5 1v5 situations earned him. Before reaching level 3 gaming skill, Noah's knowledge had been insufficient to create comprehensive strategies against professional opposition. His reflexes could win him duels, but coordinated team play required understanding that went beyond raw mechanical skill. But now, with his upgraded gaming abilities, Noah found himself analyzing the professional team's previous tactics with understanding that hadn't existed during the defensive half. I can now understand their rotational timings, their utility usage patterns, and their preferred angles. Level 3 gaming skill has shown me the strategic layer behind their previous steps. Listen up, Noah announced, confident in his next play. I've been watching their defensive setups for 12 rounds. Here's what we're going to do. His plan emerged with strategic sophistication that surprised even himself. They're over-rotating to counter my individual plays, which creates predictable gaps in their defensive coverage. Use their adaptation against them. Professional teams are creatures of habit once they establish patterns. I need two of you to execute a loud, obvious push on the main site, Noah continued, his tactical thinking operating at levels his previous gaming skill couldn't have achieved. Draw their rotational response, then immediately fall back. Although this is a very basic tactic that is known by everyone, they will not expect it. We have not used it once since the game began. His teammates listened with growing respect as Noah outlined a complex bait-and-switch strategy that would exploit the professional team's disciplined rotational habits. That's going to get us killed, observed their support player with understandable concern. That's the point, your deaths create the opening that wins us the round. Are you willing to sacrifice for team victory? Sacrificial tactics. Using teammates as strategic resources rather than trying to keep everyone alive. The team exchanged a few words before accepting the plan. If you think it'll work, we're in. Good. I'll be flanking through their weak rotation while they're focused on your distraction. Trust the plan. The round began with Noah's teammates executing their sacrificial assault with convincing aggression. Their attack looked genuine enough that Ethan's professional team responded exactly as predicted. Rotate! Rotate! Called Ethan's captain as defenders moved to reinforce against the apparent main push. Standard defensive adjustment. In more advanced games, they would have never done such a thing. It would definitely lead to a loss. But the people against them really didn't have such a skill level. They were just unlucky to face them in quick play. The reason they wanted to rotate immediately was because they didn't want Noah to pick them off one by one. It would be tragic. But as the professional team shifted their positioning, Noah moved through the gaps their rotation had created. Pop! Pop! Headshot! Noah's aim eliminated two defenders before they realized their rotational response had been manipulated into creating exactly the vulnerability he needed. What the hell? Came Ethan's voice through his team's chat. He was lurking. Pop! 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 The remaining defenders fell to Noah's reaction time and insane aim as he cleared the site with speed that was simply outrageous. Round 1. Noah announced to his celebrating teammates. Same strategy next round, different site. They won't expect us to do it twice, also we have the advantage. Someone buy me? I need a powerful gun. Immediately, someone used all his credits and bought Noah the most powerful rifle. He was left with no utility or guns for himself, but who cared? Noah himself was like a whole team, and arming him meant arming a whole team. No, in fact, it was better. Meanwhile, in Ethan's team chat, confused voices tried to process what had just occurred. Chapter 190. It was Noah. That wasn't the same player, the captain said with obvious bewilderment. His positioning was completely different. Professional level. The way he hid and waited for both of us to appear before killing us both. 2. His composure, everything had changed. His game sense just jumped from amateur to expert mid-match. Ethan added with growing concern. That's not normal improvement. Maybe he just got lucky in this round. Let's wait and see in the next rounds. Their coach's voice carried skepticism. Players don't develop tactical understanding that quickly. Something changed. The next round proceeded with Noah's team executing another variation of the sacrificial strategy. This time, Noah directed a 3-person distraction while he and one teammate attacked from an unexpected angle. Pop! 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 For quick eliminations followed as Noah's agility combined with level 3 tactical knowledge to dismantle the professional defense with relative ease. This guy is definitely a top player, Ethan declared with frustrated certainty. No amateur plays like this. I think he is part of the top-tier bracket. He is simply insane. Professional players weren't all at the same skill level. Not at all, they were split into brackets. The team that Ethan was currently debuting for was part of the lowest bracket. His mechanical skill was always insane, the captain agreed. But now his positioning and timing are perfect. I think he was just playing normally initially, and now he has decided to finally play seriously. Round after round, Noah's tactical innovations, coupled with his aim, continued to overwhelm Ethan's team. Pop, pop, pop. Another flawless round execution as Noah eliminated 3 defenders while his teammates secured the objective. We're getting destroyed. I really can't wait for the match to end. Check his account after the match, the coach instructed. This might be a known professional player testing strategies on a secondary account. Pop, pop. Noah's supernatural aim continued producing highlight reel eliminations that would have impressed tournament audiences, each shot landing with consistency that seemed almost fake in its perfection. The score rapidly shifted from 7 to 5 to 7 to 11 as Noah's leadership transformed his random teammates into a coordinated unit capable of outplaying professional opposition. New strategy. Forget everything we practiced. This guy is reading our standard plays like a book, the captain announced during their brief period of defense preparation. Another ace, 5 eliminations in a single round, as Noah's performance reached levels that were the pinnacle of competitive gaming. This is insane, Ethan said with admiration. The man in front of him was simply insane. As the final round approached, Ethan's professional team demonstrated exactly why they had earned contracts with a competitive organization. Despite facing overwhelming individual skill that had dismantled their strategies, they refused to surrender or lose focus. This is the best learning opportunity we could possibly ask for. Win or lose, we're absorbing everything this player is teaching us, their captain declared. Exactly, Ethan agreed, his frustration transforming into focus. Watch his positioning, his timing, his utility usage. This is top-level gameplay. Their coach's voice carried approval through the team chat. This mindset is why you're professionals. Turn every challenge into education. We can't win everything, we win some and we lose some. The team had approached this match expecting normal practice and warm-up exercises before their upcoming tournament preparations. Instead, they'd encountered gameplay that would become a highlight in their personal development. A match they would remember and reference for years. This single game probably advanced their tactical understanding more than weeks of standard practice against normal opponents. Throughout the final round, they continued experimenting with counter-strategies, while carefully observing Noah's responses. Every adaptation he made, every tactical innovation he employed, every mechanical display of supernatural aim, all of it was being absorbed and analyzed for future application. We've already recorded everything. This footage will be studied extensively during tomorrow's review session, the coach confirmed. Professional players didn't just play and create tactics. They learnt from their mistakes by reviewing the matches they won and lost. They are always trying to find something to improve on. The match concluded with Noah's team achieving a decisive 13-7 victory that showcased their complete domination during the second half. What had begun as a 7-5 deficit had transformed into an overwhelming win through Noah's leadership and skill. As the final elimination registered and victory screens appeared, both teams prepared for the traditional post-match analysis that competitive players use to evaluate performance. The moment the match officially ended, leaderboard information became available to all participants. Ethan's team immediately began checking detailed statistics and player identification, their curiosity eager to find who had just beaten them. Let's see who this mystery player actually is, the captain announced as he accessed the detailed match report. The familiar name that appeared on Ethan's screen made him do a double-take before staring in complete disbelief. The name definitely looked familiar, but he couldn't believe it. He had to double-check the tag, too. Immediately, Ethan opened his friends list, cross-referencing the revealed username and tag against his cousins. That username can't be Noah, Ethan muttered, his voice barely audible as he finally realized who had just beaten them so effortlessly. He checked and rechecked the information, comparing the match participant data against his friend's list to confirm what seemed impossible. The evidence was undeniable. His cousin had just destroyed a professional esports team with a gameplay that made them think he had been hacking. When did he get this good? How? He is incredible. What did you say? Asked the team captain, having caught Ethan's confused whisper. Noah? Ethan repeated, louder this time, but still carrying shocked disbelief. The player who just dominated us. His name is Noah. You know him? His teammate asked with obvious curiosity about their mysterious opponent's identity. Ethan's throat felt dry after what he had just discovered. He's my cousin. Silence filled the team chat as his professional teammates absorbed this unexpected connection. Their new teammate was related to someone at the level of the top professional players. Chapter 191. Daily Income. Your cousin is a professional player? The captain asked with obvious assumptions about Noah's background and training. What games does he compete in? Added another teammate. His mechanical skill shows he has years of high-level experience. Ethan shook his head slowly, still struggling to reconcile the Noah he knew with the gaming phenomenon they'd just encountered. No, he's not a professional player in any game, Ethan said with growing amazement. He just started playing this game a few days ago. Before that, he played other games casually, nothing competitive. The team chat fell completely silent as Ethan's words sank into their brain. A casual player with minimal experience had just outplayed an entire professional team using knowledge and mechanical skill that should have required years to develop. A few days? The captain repeated with obvious disbelief. That's impossible. Nobody develops game sense like that in a few days. His aim was already inhuman, but his strategic understanding was tournament level. That doesn't happen overnight. Unless he has wall hacks on and he isn't really using any strategy. Ethan found himself defending his cousin's legitimacy while simultaneously trying to understand how Noah had achieved such an impossible improvement in such a short time frame. I know how it sounds, Ethan replied with helpless honesty. But I'm telling you the truth. A few days ago, he was asking me basic questions about game mechanics. Tonight, he just gave us the most brutal defeat we've ever experienced. The professional team struggled to process information that challenged everything they understood about skill development and competitive gaming progression. We need to watch this recording frame by frame, the captain decided with obvious fascination. If your cousin really developed these capabilities in days, we need to understand how. Don't be offended, Ethan, but I really feel like your cousin is cheating. Nobody can have such aim and mechanical skill in a few days. As the team began planning their intensive review session, Ethan found himself typing a private message to his cousin through the game's chat system, his fingers hesitating over the keyboard as he struggled to process what had just occurred. How do I even start this conversation? Hey cousin, you just destroyed my professional team? Finally, he sent a simple message. Noah, was that really you? My team thinks you're hacking. They can't believe someone could play like that. Noah's response came immediately, a simple smiling emoji that somehow carried smugness despite being just a yellow face on screen. Ethan typed back almost immediately. Seriously, my team is convinced you're using aimbot and wall hacks. They're going to review every frame of that match looking for evidence. Noah's reply was confident. Let them review it. They'll see. He's not worried at all, Ethan thought. Before Ethan could send another message, Noah's status shifted to offline, leaving his cousin staring at an empty chat window with dozens of unanswered questions swirling through his mind. He just logged off like nothing happened. Absolute cinema. That one game had been extraordinary, the kind of match that would be discussed and analyzed for days within their professional circle if Noah turned out to be legit. The next morning, Noah woke up feeling refreshed after a night of excellent sleep, his constitution requiring less rest while providing more restorative benefits than his previous normal human physiology. My high vitality is something else. My recovery rates are through the roof. I haven't gotten such good sleep ever. He made his way downstairs, checking his daily system notification. You have received your daily income, $355,000 has been rewarded. Noah had already changed the wind orb into money. He had around 5 of those orbs, and there was no need for more. When he needed more, he could simply get them himself. For now, money was more important since he had an idle room to open. His daily income had also increased because of the rice cake that Lola had bought. $355,000. Just a few weeks ago, I was struggling to afford ramen and dodging debt collectors. Noah smiled at the astronomical figure that represented more money than most people earned in an entire year. The transformation from poverty to wealth had been so rapid that he sometimes needed reminders of how dramatically his circumstances had changed. From a daily income of $300 to $355,000. That's more than a 1,000-fold increase. Downstairs, Noah discovered his father had already awakened and prepared breakfast for both of them. The sight of Alan moving around the kitchen with energy and a smile on his face made Noah feel happy for his father. The beef jerky was really a life changer. He looks 20 years younger. The permanent vitality enhancement transformed everything about his health and energy. After checking on his father the previous evening, Noah had found him sleeping peacefully, no longer the restless, pain-interrupted sleep that had become a part of his condition during the illness. "Noah? You're awake." Alan called with obvious pleasure at seeing his son. "Come join me. I made breakfast for both of us." Alan sounded genuinely happy, not just healthy, but enthusiastic about life again. "Dad, you didn't have to do this?" Noah replied with a gentle smile on his face, feeling some concern over his father's effort. "You should be relaxing. I could have made breakfast or ordered delivery." Alan waved away his son's concerns with a confident expression. "Don't worry, son. These old bones are much healthier now," he said with obvious satisfaction at his new body. "Come on, let's eat." Alan's smile carried contentment of someone who had rediscovered simple pleasures in life that illness had made difficult, such as cooking for family, moving without pain, and planning activities rather than merely enduring them. Noah smiled wryly at his father's obvious pleasure in resuming normal parental activities and joined him at the table for their shared meal. The breakfast was excellent. His dad's cooking did not disappoint. Noah could tell that his father was enjoying it. He knew that his father had probably thought of himself as a burden to his only son. Chapter 192. Surpassing Master Tanaka. So, when cooking for his son and doing these small acts of kindness, his father felt rejuvenated, as if he was providing for his son, not necessarily using money, but providing what he could. After they finished eating, Noah reached into his wallet and withdrew a substantial amount of cash, placing it on the table in front of his father. "Dad, here's $1,000, just in case you need anything during the day. I'll be heading to the dojo for training. Do you need anything from me on the way?" Alan looked at the cash with obvious surprise, his hand moving to push the money back toward his son. "I'm fine, and there's really no need for so much money," he protested. Noah gently stopped his father's hand before it could return the cash. He insisted patiently. "It's fine, Dad. Keep it," he said with warm firmness that gave no room for argument. Alan sighed with acceptance, recognizing the futility of arguing with his son's obvious determination. "All right," he conceded with a mixture of gratitude and concern. "Get there safely and don't speed. Speeding kills." "Yes, boss." Noah laughed before heading toward the garage where his GTR waited for another trip to the dojo. Noah arrived at the dojo with anticipation building in his chest. His advancement to apprentice rank had transformed his capabilities beyond anything he'd previously experienced, and he was eager to test how his new skills would translate to real combat against his respected instructor. The familiar wooden building welcomed him. Inside, the other students were already engaged in their morning routines. They were all improving steadily from consistent practice under Master Tanaka's guidance. The dojo didn't earn its good reputation for no reason after all. Noah began his warm-up with the same exercises. Basic strikes glowed with more eloquence, more grace than before, and it shocked him. Swish! Whoosh! The students and Tanaka looked at Noah's strikes with growing apprehension. Despite his amazing technique before, Their dojo's champions seem to have made it even better. I need to be careful. With my current strength, I could easily injure Master Tanaka. Several students paused their own training to observe Noah's warm-up routine. He feels different today. One of the older students whispered to his training partner. Yeah, I can feel it too. If aura existed, it's definitely radiating from him. The partner agreed. Like he's operating on a completely different level. He's giving me a vibe that makes me feel like he's better than Master Tanaka himself. Master Tanaka approached Noah. His experienced eyes immediately noticed the transformation in Noah's bearing and movement quality. Something has changed with him. His posture, his balance, his energy flow. Everything is ready for today's session? Tanaka asked, though his tone carried curiosity. Ready, Master, Noah replied with confidence. They moved to the center sparring area, drawing the attention of every student in the dojo. Master Tanaka settled into his opening stance with decades of muscle memory guiding his stance. But as Noah mirrored the preparation, Tanaka's eyes detected a new stance from Noah. This isn't the same student I trained yesterday. It's like he became a different person. The initial exchange began with Tanaka's customary testing strikes, attacks designed to evaluate Noah's current skills while providing instruction through demonstration. Clang. But instead of the expected defensive struggle, Noah's response came effortlessly. He no longer only intercepted Tanaka's attack, but transitioned immediately into a counter sequence that forced the master to step back. Tanaka's eyes widened with genuine surprise as he realized Noah was pushing him back already. The apprentice rank advancement had elevated capabilities to the point where their sparring represented genuine competition in skill rather than instruction. This requires my full attention. For the first time in their training relationship, Master Tanaka stopped providing running commentary and focused entirely on the immediate combat situation. Noah's new skills demanded complete concentration to avoid being overwhelmed. Clang. Swish. Crack. Their wooden swords created rapid impacts as both fighters operated at levels that made other students step back to safer distances. But Noah was carefully moderating his strength and speed to avoid accidentally injuring his respected instructor. I could move faster, strike harder, but that would be disrespectful and dangerous. The consideration that Noah showed wasn't lost on Tanaka, and it touched him deeply. Despite possessing skills and power that clearly exceeded his instructors, the young man maintained appropriate respect and control rather than allowing power to corrupt his character. He's holding back to protect me. Crack. Clang. Swish. The sparring continued with increasing intensity as both fighters pushed each other within safe limits. Whoosh. Clang. The session concluded when both fighters simultaneously achieved perfect striking positions, their wooden swords stopping mere inches from vital targets in mutual recognition of the other's skill. A draw. But not really. Tanaka lowered his weapon with an expression that mixed pride, amazement, and contentment. He understood perfectly that Noah had been respectful rather than competitive, choosing to demonstrate capability while ensuring his instructor's safety. Power didn't corrupt him. That's the mark of true character. You are a monster in the way of the sword. You were born for this, Tanaka said with obvious admiration for what Noah had accomplished. The word monster carried no negative connotation in martial arts circles. It represented the highest praise for someone whose talent and skill were far above normal humans. Thank you, Master. Noah replied with genuine gratitude for the recognition and continued guidance that had brought him to this point. Despite his system's help, Lola's and Valeria's help, Noah did not forget the help that Master Tanaka had bestowed upon him. No matter how small or big, help was help. The man had offered to train him completely free of charge. Naturally, Noah wasn't going to let that happen. He had decided that before he left for the tournament, he would pay the master $1,000. It wasn't a lot, but it was around 10 times the monthly subscription. He knew that if he gave more, the master would not accept it. This young man might actually win that tournament. But I won't spoil the surprise for either him or Yamamoto, Tanaka thought with a growing smile. Chapter 193, Lola's Breakthrough. By the way, the tournament is happening in 2 days. Yamamoto told me he'll come here in 2 days to pick you up. Just giving you advance notice. Tanaka said, relaying Yamamoto's words. 2 days. Not too bad. Noah nodded with appreciation for the information. Thank you for letting me know. I'll be ready. Around the dojo, the quiet sound of conversations had started. Students stood clustered in pairs or small groups, whispering to one another as they stole glances at Noah. His performance during this last sparring session had left an impression, one they were still processing. His speed, control, composure, and finally skill were far beyond what they had seen from him just a day before. It was clear to everyone that something extraordinary had taken place during this day of training. They didn't attribute it to a system or anything supernatural. Instead, they attributed it to a potential enlightenment and his monstrous talent. This time, Noah didn't need to take a shower. His body was so fit that he didn't even sweat despite the practice he had done with Tanaka. After today's sparring, he realized that the old master could no longer teach him, which was fine. Tanaka had also told him that there was no need for him to come for training anymore. He could simply wait until the tournament and prepare. Noah didn't act polite either, accepting the idea. Respectful honesty rather than false modesty. Tanaka appreciated directness. He would simply have to practice more in the other world under the guidance of Valeria, Lola, and the swordsmanship manual. Tanaka had already expressed his appreciation for Noah's remarkable skill advancement and wished him luck in the upcoming tournament. Noah accepted graciously, thanking the experienced master for his weeks of invaluable guidance. This time, Noah didn't need to take a shower after their intensive sparring session. His constitution was so efficient that he hadn't even sweated despite the training that would have exhausted his previous self. Thank you for everything, Master Tanaka, Noah said as they walked toward the dojo entrance. It's been a pleasure to train here. I'll come by again in 2 days when Master Yamamoto is here. And to everyone here, he said, raising his voice slightly so the surrounding students could hear. Keep training hard. This place made me better. Let it do the same for you. Master Tanaka smiled at the obvious marketing that Noah was giving him. To the students inside the dojo, Noah had become an idol. So, hearing him praise dojo would make them more loyal to the dojo and towards their training. Hoping they could reach Noah's heights someday in their life. Future sword training would fall under practicing in the magical world under Valeria's guidance, Lola's insights, and continued study of the Tier 4 swordsmanship manual that contained techniques beyond earthly martial arts. On his way back home, Noah decided to adjust his schedule to include a visit to Ethan's school. The location wasn't far from his new house, his car provided convenient transportation, and he didn't want to delay testing whether magical healing could address his cousin's chronic condition. Time to see if magical healing can help with type 1 diabetes. While the entire family had shared healing bread during their recent dinner, the single loaf had been distributed among multiple people, diluting the magical effects considerably. Ethan needed concentrated healing focused specifically on his autoimmune condition for the full duration of the bread. If one dedicated loaf works but shows a slow effect, I'll increase the dose. Otherwise, I'll escalate to beef jerky for permanent vitality enhancement. At home, Noah discovered his father had departed for some unknown activity. The house stood empty, but Noah felt no concern about Alan's absence. His health and strength are excellent now. He can handle whatever he's doing. The permanent vitality enhancement had restored capabilities that made independence natural rather than worrisome. Alan could finally live normally rather than requiring constant monitoring. He can be active and I don't need to worry constantly. Heading to his room, Noah decided to check on Lola's breakthrough attempt and current shop operations. He hadn't been worried about her safety. His shop points had increased substantially, indicating that she was working and making successful sales during his absence. She's clearly succeeded and returned to work. Time to offer congratulations. Appearing in the shop through his portal, Noah found Lola behind the counter professionally serving a customer with a smile on her face. Thank you for your patronage, she said with genuine courtesy as the transaction concluded. The customer nodded appreciatively before turning to leave, only to find Noah standing behind him where empty space had existed moments before. The man was startled by Noah's sudden appearance and almost fell. Viscount Noah, the man exclaimed with obvious surprise. recovering quickly to offer appropriate noble greetings. "Good morning, my lord." Noah smiled warmly and returned the greeting with appropriate courtesy before the customer departed with obvious satisfaction about his purchases. Noble recognition is still surreal, but useful for business credibility. After the customer left, Noah turned toward Lola with pleasure at seeing her successful and obviously enhanced by the rank advancement she had achieved. "Congratulations on your breakthrough to Grandmaster rank," he said with a warm smile of appreciation for her accomplishment. Lola's ruby eyes sparkled with amusement. "How do you know I succeeded? I might have failed entirely." "No, I knew you had it in you," Noah replied with confidence. "Good job. You are now more powerful than before. Grandmaster-level succubus working as my sales assistant." She chuckled lightly, her expression carrying warmth. "Well, thank you for believing in me. Your support earlier meant more than you might realize." Noah stood there for a second, not responding as he could feel the emotions behind her gratitude. After a moment, he responded with a small smile. "You are welcome. I will be here whenever you need me." Lola blushed slightly before immediately changing the topic. "Now for the practical matters. Sales went exactly as you instructed. 48 iced teas were sold to general customers, with the remainder reserved for Royal Guards and Valeria's Guild. As for bread, all 96 units were sold throughout the shift." She continued with obvious satisfaction at the robust demand. "The premium items remained untouched as you requested, waiting for your authorization to resume special pricing." Noah nodded with appreciation. "Thank you for the excellent work. Having someone I can trust completely makes everything so much easier." Staring at his updated status that reflected the night's operations, Noah felt good. Chapter 194, Idle Room. Host, Noah Carter. Age 28. Shop Level 2. Daily revenue, $355,000, or equivalent. Current assets, $1,287,640. Shop points, 7810. Attributes, strength, 60. Vitality, 30. Intelligence, 20. Agility, 60. Skills, swordsmanship, level 10. Mana control, level 8. Wind manipulation, level 8. Aura, level 8. Body tempering, level 5. Surviving on ramen, level 3. Cooking, level 3. Finance, level 3. Gaming, level 3. Programming, level 2. Nearly 8,000 shop points, closing in on the 10,000 needed for shop level 3. The steady progression towards the next shop level filled Noah with anticipation for expanded shop and power opportunities. Checking the time, he noticed there were about 10 minutes remaining before Lola's shift officially ended. Her dedication to maintaining the schedule despite achieving such a monumental advancement demonstrated the professionalism he valued. Noah turned toward Lola with consideration for her need to adapt to her new power. "By the way, you can familiarize yourself with your new power," he said with an understanding tone. "You've just advanced to Grandmaster rank. I'm sure you still need time to stabilize at that level. I'll take things from here." As someone who advanced often, he understood that the bigger the jump, the more time and effort you needed to put in to get used to the change. Lola looked at him with genuine gratitude for his thoughtful recognition of her needs. "Thank you. I will work extra hard when I come back," she said with a wink. Despite her teasing, her expression showed appreciation that went beyond words. After expressing her thanks, Lola didn't head upstairs to her room as usual. Instead, she departed the shop entirely, clearly intending to test her Grandmaster capabilities somewhere with adequate space and privacy. Alone in the store, Noah's eyes landed on Leo, who remained in deep sleep beside the counter. The young golden mane lion had undergone remarkable physical development during his magical enhancement recovery. His body has tripled in size. Those premium enhancement items really accelerated his growth. The juvenile lion now displayed the proportions of an adolescent predator rather than a small cub, his frame containing strength and agility that would soon match his adept potential. He's going to be formidable when he reaches full development. Noah settled beside his sleeping companion and focused on his personal advancement. His swordsmanship had reached apprentice rank, but his other skills needed similar development to achieve balance. He wanted to level up his mana control skill to level 10, then the aura skill. After doing that, he would be a near-complete apprentice rank warrior. Drawing upon his enhanced concentration, Noah began the systematic exercises that would push his mana manipulation toward mastery. The familiar sensation of magical energy responding to his will felt more refined with each practice session. 20 minutes of focused training should yield some progress. The meditation proceeded smoothly. After about 20 minutes of productive training, familiar voices outside the shop announced the arrival of his regular institutional customers. Representatives from both Valeria's guild and the royal family entered with courtesy, their greetings carrying appropriate respect for his noble status combined with genuine appreciation for his products. "Good afternoon, Viscount Carter," called the royal representative. "Here for our regular order." "Same for the Silver Wolf Guild," added Valeria's messenger with obvious satisfaction at the established routine. The transaction proceeded efficiently. 48 iced teas and 96 bread loaves were distributed between the two organizations according to their established agreements. Daily institutional sales are complete. Now the automakers can reset for a new production cycle. The sale generated 1,440 shop points and $72,000 in revenue, adding meaningful progress toward his various advancement goals while providing steady income that supported his overall business operations. Nearly 9,000 shop points total. Shop level 3 upgrade approaching rapidly. Noah didn't worry about the relatively modest income compared to his premium sales events. His departure from the human kingdom was approaching in a few days, and he found himself curious about what destination the system would select next. Where will the shop relocate? The uncertainty created anticipation rather than anxiety. Each new location brought fresh opportunities for business expansion, cultural exchange, and personal development that had transformed his life from where it was. Noah glanced at the stock, then at the time. The powerful practitioners of the kingdom would arrive in about 4 hours to buy his premium items. With abundant free time and his financial assets crossing the $1 million threshold, Noah decided to finally investigate the idle room that had been tempting him for weeks. He walked to the mysterious door on the second floor, its plain appearance belying the advanced magical technology contained within. The system prompt for purchase appeared as he approached. Taking a deep breath, he activated the purchase. Idle room purchased for $1 million. The substantial cost barely registered given his current wealth and the effect of the room, and immediately the room's door opened. The interior was empty except for one thing that stood out. It immediately caught Noah's attention. It was a large screen mounted on the wall, its surface displaying information that made him step closer with growing excitement. All of my skills are listed there. Every single one. The screen showed a comprehensive interface displaying his complete skill set. Dash swordsmanship, level 10. Dash mana control, level 8. After examining the room and experimenting with the screen interface, Noah gradually understood the idle room's function and limits. It had a daily time restriction of 4 hours. He could only train a skill for 4 hours inside the room. He could split the 4 hours into 4 different skills with an hour each, too. The second limitation was one that was related to the level of skills. The idle room only works on skills below level 20, but the limit would rise alongside his shop level. When his shop reaches level 3, the limit will increase too. The third limit, which was the one that hurt Noah the most, was money. Chapter 195, Leo's Evolution. He had to pay money in order to train his skills, and the price of the training differed based on the skill level. The effectiveness also dropped as the level increased. Levels 1 to 5. $1,000 per hour, 3x speed multiplier compared to personal training. Levels 6 to 10. $50,000 per hour, 2x multiplier compared to personal training. Levels 11 to 20. $100,000 per hour, 1.5x multiplier compared to personal training. It was expensive but most definitely efficient. The cost scales with the value of advancement. While Noah felt satisfaction at finally accessing this advanced training system, the pricing structure meant each session would consume his money. The higher-level training costs were particularly steep. System: can others use the idle room? Or is it just me? Noah asked, feeling his heart beating faster at the thought. No, host. At the current level, this is not a viable function. However, it will be later on. Noah nodded. I see. Noah's attention went back to the current features. Based on his estimation, for around $2,000 to $3,000, he could evolve a single skill to level 5. As for the skills above level 5, he wasn't sure. But he would find out by using it. Using this will definitely impact my finances, but the time savings could be worth it. He checked his remaining liquid assets after the room purchase, and approximately $359,000 remained available for immediate use. Enough for several high-level training sessions. Let's start with something important. After consideration, Noah decided to advance his mana control skill to level 10, bringing it in line with his swordsmanship and creating a foundation for the apprentice rank. Mana control from level 8 to level 10. 2 levels at the 6 to 10 tier pricing. He pressed the mana control skill on the interface, accessing detailed training options and duration settings. 2 hours should be sufficient for testing the system while achieving meaningful advancement. Since the effectiveness of the idle training is comparable to 4 hours of my normal training. Setting the training duration to 2 hours. Noah confirmed the session parameters. $100,000 immediately deducted from account. The screen immediately displayed a small avatar representing Noah engaged in intensive mana control exercises. That's actually pretty cool. Watching my advancement in real time, the visualization showed his training avatar cycling through mana manipulation exercises, each repetition building upon previous improvements with efficiency that surpassed normal learning curves. This is what $100,000 of training looks like. Let's see if the results justify the cost. 2 hours passed and Noah had to say he was impressed. His skill had leveled up to level 9. Excited at the gain, he decided to add it once more. Another 2 hours passed by, and level 10 had arrived before him. He had reached level 10 mana control by spending $200,000 in 4 hours. During that time, Noah wasn't idle. He had been training simultaneously outside the idle room. He had leveled up his body tempering to level 6 through physical exercises while waiting. Before reaching level 10, he had also eaten his rice cake to increase his intelligence to 30, so that when his mana control reached level 10 it would double to 60, and it did. Noah pulled up his updated status with satisfaction. Host: Noah Carter. Age 28. Shop level 2. Daily revenue: $355,000, or equivalent. Current assets: $159,640. Shop points: 9250. Attributes: Strength, 60. Vitality, 30. Intelligence, 60. Agility, 60. Skills: Swordsmanship, level 10. Mana control, level 10. Wind manipulation, level 8. Aura, level 8. Body tempering, level 6. Surviving on ramen, level 3. Cooking, level 3. Finance, level 3. Gaming, level 3. Programming, level 2. There is some balance across my primary attributes. 60 points in strength, intelligence, and agility with 30 in vitality. The next skill I will focus on will be body tempering to level 10. Then I will decide whether to improve my important skills or level up my lower skills to level 5. With his idle room daily limit exhausted, Noah headed downstairs. It was almost time for his premium customers to arrive, the powerful practitioners who could afford his higher-tier products. As he descended the stairs, Leo stirred from his extended nap, the young lion's enhanced senses detecting Noah's approach. Noah raised an eyebrow. The young cub had finally woken up from his extended sleep. "Hey there, buddy," Noah said, scratching behind Leo's ears. "How are you feeling? You've slept for 2 days now." Leo purred contentedly at the petting before shocking Noah. "I'm feeling good, father. The food you gave me last time was really good and filled with benefits. My body couldn't help but take a break to absorb everything. I feel much stronger and more powerful. Leo spoke, making Noah's eyes widen in shock. Noah immediately assessed his status, and that shocked him. The young lion was no longer a juvenile, but in his adolescent stage. As for his skills, they've evolved. Even Leo's potential grew from adept to master. His size manipulation was also available for use now. Pet number 1 Leo. Growth adolescent. Rank adept. Potential master. Skills. Size manipulation. Leo has the latent ability to shift his physical size, ranging from a small kitten to a full-grown lion with a majestic mane. Savage Rift Claw, an evolved form of claw sweep. Leo channels raw energy into his claws, unleashing a rending strike that tears through multiple enemies and leaves a lingering energy scar that deals damage over time. King's Dominion, the evolved roar. Leo releases a thunderous, kingdom-shaking roar that asserts his dominance across the battlefield. Enemies suffer debuffs such as fear, stun, or weaken, while allies within range gain morale, minor healing, and temporary attack buffs. Noah stared at Leo's status screen, his mind still processing the dramatic transformation his companion had undergone. "Leo, can you show me your size manipulation?" Noah asked curiously. Leo's golden eyes sparkled with obvious pride. "Of course, father. Watch this." Noah felt somewhat weird hearing that coming from his companion's voice directly. When he told the young lion to call him Papa, Leo was young. But now that he is somewhat older, it feels... The adolescent lion began to shrink before Noah's eyes, his form compacting until he resembled the small kitten Noah had first encountered. Then, just as smoothly, Leo expanded back to his current size, roughly that of a large dog, before continuing to grow until he matched a full-grown lion complete with a developing mane. Chapter 196. Biggest sale, 500,000 in sales. That's actually terrifying. He could go from house pet to a lion size in seconds. Incredible, Noah breathed, watching Leo return to his preferred adolescent size. Your growth has been remarkable. The food you provided contained power beyond anything I've experienced, Leo explained, his mental voice carrying gratitude and appreciation. My body needed time to fully absorb and integrate such concentrated energy. The conversation was interrupted by familiar voices outside the shop. Noah's enhanced hearing detected Princess Alera's distinctive laughter mixed with Valeria's voice, accompanied by several other voices he didn't immediately recognize. Right on schedule. Noah moved toward the door, peering outside to see an impressive assembly gathering near his shop entrance. Princess Alera and Valeria led the group, but behind them stood figures whose very presence radiated an aura of power. They were the kingdom's strongest warriors. This is going to be my biggest sale yet. The shop door opened with the familiar chime, and Princess Alera entered first. She was startled by Noah's appearance at the door, but then relaxed and greeted him. Noah returned the greeting to everyone before moving inside and letting them in. The shop was large enough to accommodate them all. Entering inside, Alera's amber eyes landed on Leo, who was too big not to notice. "Oh my!" she exclaimed with genuine delight, her royal bearing momentarily forgotten as she spotted Noah's companion. Leo woke up. "And look how much he's grown." Valeria followed close behind. "He's already reached adept rank," she observed with obvious amazement. "That level of advancement in just 2 days. It's incredible." Noah nodded with pride in his companion's achievement. His potential has also increased. His potential is master level now. "Wow!" Alera breathed in a cold breath. Master-level pets were by no means easy to find. The strongest pet the royal family had was an adept-rank wolf at the end of his potential. That's incredibly rare. Master potential magical beasts are considered national treasures in most kingdoms. "Hello, Princess." Leo greeted. He saw her as his father's friend, and greeting was an obligation. "He's so cute, hi Leo." The other members of their group began filing into the shop, their expressions equally impressed as they sensed Leo's aura and noticed the abundant premium products displayed throughout the space. Noah recognized several faces from the day before, but others were completely new, figures whose reputations preceded them into any room they entered. "Welcome to the Idle Store," Noah announced with courtesy, gesturing toward his premium product displays. "I have fresh stock of all enhancement items available. A new item has also been added." The assembled warriors moved through the shop with obvious appreciation for the quality and variety of options available. "Those are the rare treasures. Protein bars, beef jerky, energy drinks," one of the newer customers muttered aloud. "All permanent enhancement items of the highest quality." But Princess Alera's attention had focused on the new item that Noah had just spoken about, the one that hadn't been present during her previous visits. "Rice cakes?" she asked with obvious curiosity, approaching the display with growing interest. "This is the new product." Noah nodded. "Just introduced today. They provide permanent intelligence enhancement along with the standard temporary boost." The reaction from the assembled group was quite dramatic, to say the least. Intelligence enhancement items were rare even among permanent attribute boosters, their rarity making them more valuable than the other items. "Permanent intelligence enhancement. Incredible," breathed a court mage whose robes marked him as one of the Academy's senior instructors. "How much?" Alera asked immediately, mirroring everyone's internal question. "Same price as the other premium items," Noah replied smoothly. 150 golden coins. Without hesitation, Alera produced her coin pouch and counted out the payment with obvious eagerness to test the new product. "I'll take one immediately," she declared, accepting the rice cake with careful hands. The assembled warriors watched with fascination as Princess Alera unwrapped the enhancement item and took her first bite. As the princess, she had privileges that others didn't, so none of them complained about her buying the first product. They also knew her relationship with the Viscount wasn't simple. Alera's expression immediately transformed, eyes widening with surprise at both the flavor and the effect. "It's incredible," she murmured, her senses allowing her to feel the intelligence boost taking effect in real time. "The taste is unlike anything I've experienced." "I'll take a protein bar, please," announced a master-level berserker whose reputation for strength was known throughout the kingdom. "An energy drink, please," added a guild captain whose agility-based combat style would benefit enormously from the enhancement. "One of the rice cakes and one beef jerky, please," declared a court mage who wanted to not only improve his power as a mage, but also his weakness, his vitality. The transactions proceeded with enthusiasm as Noah distributed his premium stock among customers who understood exactly what they were purchasing. Each warrior approached their selections with careful consideration. They were investing in their future power after all. Within 10 minutes, Noah's entire premium inventory had been completely depleted. 11 protein bars, 11 packages of beef jerky, 11 energy drinks, and 10 rice cakes, all sold to the kingdom's most elite practitioners. Each item commanded its standard price of 150 golden coins, generating a total revenue that made Noah's head spin with satisfaction. 43 items multiplied by 150 coins equals 6,450 golden coins. The calculation translated to $645,000 in his currency conversion system, immediately restoring more than half of what he'd invested in idle room training just hours earlier. But beyond the monetary value, each sale had generated 10 shop points, bringing his total to nearly 10,000, tantalizingly close to finishing one of the requirements for the shop level 3 upgrade that would allow him to gain new products and new features like the idle room. As the last customer completed their purchase and departed with obvious satisfaction, Noah found himself alone with Princess Alera, Valeria, and Leo. Chapter 197, Growth and Departing. "Your products continue to amaze," Alera said with genuine appreciation for what she'd witnessed. "The kingdom's strongest warriors have all been strengthened thanks to your items and generosity to lower the price of such valuable treasures. No matter how many times we thank you, it won't be enough to repay you. Thank you, Noah. You are one of the best people to ever step foot into this kingdom." Valeria nodded in agreement. More than half of the kingdom's adept and master-level practitioners just became significantly more powerful thanks to your inventory. That's going to shift the balance of our war with the extremists. Before Valeria and Alara left, Noah informed them that he would be moving once again in 2 days. When he would return was unknown, but he hoped that everything would go well for them during his absence. The duo tried to persuade him to stay, their expressions carrying genuine disappointment at losing their reliable friend before being their supplier. "You've become integral to our kingdom's defense," Alara argued with concern for the safety of the people and her own personal reasoning. "Your products have strengthened our forces beyond what we thought possible." Valeria nodded in agreement. Despite their persuasion, Noah still shook his head with gentle firmness, his decision already made despite their arguments. "I really can't," Noah said with an apologetic smile on his face. "Staying in the human kingdom, while it would be nice to be next to friends, it would limit my progress significantly. I need to explore the world, discover new opportunities, and continue growing." The realization had crystallized during his time in the Demon Kingdom. Each new location brought unique challenges, customers, and experiences that expanded his capabilities in ways that remaining stationary never could. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Back when he first became the shopkeeper of the idol store, he was nothing but a scared man, afraid of even stepping outside for fear of experiencing the pain of death 3 times over. But now, he had grown not only in strength but in confidence. He no longer feared every shadow, afraid that his death was drawing near. Both women sighed with resignation, recognizing the determination in his voice that indicated no amount of persuasion would change his mind. "At least you're giving us proper notice this time," Valeria said with wry humor, remembering his sudden disappearance during the last time he had left. "We'll be here before you leave," Alara promised, her composure cracking as she tried to mask the personal sadness at another farewell. "Thank you for not giving us short notice like last time." He had given them 2 days to prepare mentally and practically for his departure. They departed reluctantly, leaving Noah alone with Leo in the shop that had become their temporary sanctuary. Leo nestled next to his father, the young lion's high intelligence allowing him to sense the mixed emotions surrounding their impending relocation. "Father, are you sad about leaving them?" Leo asked with curiosity about human emotional complexity. Leo no longer called Noah Papa. His growth had also started affecting his personality and the way he spoke, not just his strength and potential. "A little," Noah admitted, stroking Leo's mane gently with affection. "But growth requires change. Staying comfortable would mean staying weak. I understand. New places mean new adventures and new food." His perspective is refreshingly simple. Adventure for more food. Noah smiled at his companion's optimistic outlook before checking his updated status to assess their current position. Host: Noah Carter. Age 28. Shop level 2. Daily revenue: $355,000 or equivalent. Current assets: $828,640. Shop points: 10,160. Attributes: Strength: 60. Vitality: 30. Intelligence: 60. Agility: 60. Skills: Swordsmanship, level 10. Mana control, level 10. Wind manipulation, level 8. Aura, level 8. Body tempering, level 6. Surviving on ramen, level 3. Cooking, level 3. Finance, level 3. Gaming, level 3. Programming, level 2. The numbers reflected more than just the premium sales. During his 4 hours of idle room training, the automakers had continued their steady production, generating 32 loaves of bread and 16 iced teas that had sold to the same customers who had bought the premium items. His assets had nearly reached the $1 million threshold once again, providing financial freedom. Most importantly, his shop points had crossed the crucial 10,000 mark, fulfilling one of the 2 conditions required for the shop level 3 upgrade that would unlock new features and opportunities. Half the requirements complete. Progress toward the next tier. The second condition, however, presented a significantly greater challenge that would require sustained effort and patience. Auto iced tea maker level 4. Production rate: 4 iced teas every hour. Max stock: 96 progress. 180/400. Auto baker level 4. Production rate, 8 loaves every hour. Max stock, 96. Progress, 288 to 400. Auto protein bar level 1. Production rate, 1 bar every 2 hours. Max stock, 12. Progress, 27/100. Auto energy drink level 1. Production rate, 1 energy drink every 2 hours. Max stock, 12. Progress, 24 out of 100. Auto beef jerky level 1. Production rate, 1 beef jerky every 2 hours. Max stock, 12. Progress, 24 out of 100. Auto rice cake level 1. Production rate, 1 rice cake every 2 hours. Max stock, 12. Progress, 10/100. The premium automakers are making the same normal progress. It will take me about 9 days to level all of them up to level 2. From there it should pick up speed. Hopefully my next destination is well off. The bread and iced tea makers were approaching level 5 with steady advancement. Their progress reflecting consistent sales to customers who could afford their reasonable pricing. But the premium enhancement items remained stuck at level 1. Their astronomical costs having previously limited the customer base to royalty and master-level practitioners. He had solved the issue 2 days ago, which started helping. At this rate, it would take a few weeks or perhaps a month to achieve level 4 across all categories. The reality was sobering. Each premium automaker needed to complete 4 level upgrades, requiring hundreds of total sales per category. If he stayed in the human kingdom, reaching shop level 3 through automaker advancement alone would take at least half a year's worth of operation. Check author's notes. Important. Chapter 198. 6th item. Powerful. So moving away is a must. Hopefully, I can be relocated to an area with wealthier customer bases or significantly increased demand somehow. Despite the extended timeline, Noah found himself surprisingly unbothered. His shop was already exceeding his wildest expectations, providing daily income that supported a comfortable living while funding personal development through systems like the Idle Room. Noah was patient. He was in no rush to level up his shop. Sustainability mattered more than speed. Better to finish the race strong than to sprint at the start and burn out halfway. Besides, he knew that numerous shop items remained locked behind purchase requirements, suggesting that unlocking the complete product would take time, and each item would add more to his daily revenue, making him even richer. Each new product type could accelerate my revenue through multiple income streams. Most importantly, his upcoming relocation might solve the premium customer shortage by transporting his shop to locations with different economic structures. New worlds, new economies, new opportunities. Noah leaned back against Leo's warm fur, his companion's steady breathing providing comfort as he contemplated their uncertain but exciting future. "Father, where do you think we'll go next?" Leo asked with curious anticipation rather than anxiety about the unknown. "I have no idea," Noah replied honestly. "But that's what makes it interesting." The system had consistently chosen locations that challenged him in different ways. The medieval human kingdom with its political complexities, the demon realm with its cultural misunderstandings and extremist threats. Each destination had forced him to adapt while providing unique opportunities to grow. 2 days remained to prepare for departure, finalize any remaining business in the human kingdom, and ensure his friends understood that his absence didn't represent abandonment but rather necessary evolution. Change was never easy, even when it led toward better outcomes. But growth required leaving comfort zones behind. Noah decided to check up on his next item to purchase before going out on a hunt with Leo. Lola had been clear. Leo was never meant to be a pet kept in a small room. For him to grow properly, Noah had to take him out on hunts where the young lion could develop his combat instincts and natural abilities. Opening the shop slot interface, Noah's eyes moved toward the next available purchase. The 5th item in the progression sequence, positioned after the rice cakes he'd just introduced to his inventory. What appeared on the screen made Noah's breath catch in his throat. Item 5. Instant coffee. Effects. Dramatically accelerates all recovery rates by 100% for 30 minutes. Grants enhanced focus, stronger immunity to mental attacks, and doubled comprehension speed for the 30-minute duration. Permanently increases intelligence by 30 upon first consumption. Price: $1 million. Noah stared at the display for several long seconds, his mind struggling to process the sheer magnitude of what he was reading. The effects listed weren't just improvements. They represented a complete transformation. This was exactly what he had been looking for since he saw Alyssa's talent. 30 permanent intelligence points. The number hit him like a physical blow. His current intelligence sat at 60 points. His attributes were approximately 1.5x normal apprentice rank practitioners, and he was about to increase that even more. The 30 additional points would bring him to 90 total, a 1.5x increase to his current intelligence, which would have a noticeable effect on his magic power. But the permanent enhancement was only the beginning of the coffee's incredible effects. The temporary benefits read like a wish list of every advantage a practitioner could desire. Enhanced focus and stronger immunity to mental attacks. Noah's mind immediately grasped the benefits. Mental attacks were among the most feared abilities in magical combat, capable of incapacitating even powerful warriors through confusion, fear, or direct mind control. Stronger immunity would make him untouchable against entire categories of enemy techniques. This doubled comprehension speed effect alone would revolutionize his development. Learning new skills, mastering complex techniques, understanding magical theory, everything would occur at twice the normal rate. The thought of doing the same work for twice the results sent excitement coursing through his body. His friends, Kip and Alyssa, had the advantage of natural talent, but the new doubled comprehension speed could close the gaps between them, especially with his idle room too. 100% recovery rate acceleration for 30 minutes. Whether it was physical recovery, mental fatigue, or any form of exhaustion, every form of restoration would double in efficiency. Training sessions that normally required hours of rest could be repeated immediately. After consuming the instant coffee, the person would have 30 minutes of peak efficiency. Noah found himself standing up from his comfortable position on Leo's warm fur. This wasn't just another enhancement item. It was a complete shift that would elevate him beyond anything he'd thought possible. But the price? $1 million. He was still around $178,000 short of the price of the item. Despite his inability to currently buy it, Noah felt that the item was worth every penny. Even after Lola sells the night batch of bread and iced tea, I would still be unable to purchase it today. It seems like I would have to wait till tomorrow. Noah thought with a wry smile. He had hoped that he could buy it today, so when tomorrow rolls over, he would have a couple of them on the shelf. Leo watched his father's agitation with curious concern, the young lion's senses detecting the excitement and amazement radiating from Noah's emotional state. "Father, you seem very excited about something. What did you discover?" "Something incredible," Noah replied, his voice carrying awe that made Leo's ears perk up with interest. "Something that could make me significantly more powerful than I am now. And something that you would like to drink." "Really? What is it? What is it?" Leo jumped up from his resting spot with an excited expression. If his father had said that it's a drink that he would like to try, then he definitely would. "It's called instant coffee, Leo. I can't give you it now because I still don't have it. I will make you try it in a few days. Okay?" Leo's expression did not falter, despite his inability to try the mysterious drink. "Yes, father." Chapter 199, Hunting with Leo. Before heading out on a hunt with Leo, Noah decided to quickly level up his aura skill to level 10. With his mana control at level 10, creating a strong foundation for aura manipulation would be straightforward. The two skills complemented each other naturally. Noah immediately calmed his beating heart from the excitement over the instant coffee and sat down in a meditation position. His high intelligence made the connection between mana control and aura development crystal clear, allowing him to approach the training with a focused mind. Level 8 to level 10. This shouldn't take long with my current foundation. Drawing upon his mana control, Noah began channeling his internal energy outward, extending his personal aura beyond his body. The technique flowed as naturally as breathing. His aura expanded steadily, growing stronger and more refined with each repetition. The invisible energy field that surrounded his body became denser, more responsive to his will. The outline of mana around his body grew stronger, more condensed as time passed by. 10 minutes later, the familiar system notification appeared in his vision. Your aura skill has reached level 10. Noah stood up from his meditation spot with a satisfied smile. The progression felt natural, a step toward the balanced development he was pursuing. 3 skills at level 10 now: swordsmanship, mana control, and aura. A solid apprentice rank foundation. It would be perfect if I could level up my wind manipulation skill, too, but one step at a time. Are you ready to go on a hunt, Leo? Noah asked, turning toward his companion with anticipation for their first joint combat experience. Leo's ears immediately perked up, his tail whipping back and forth with obvious excitement. The young lion had been waiting for this opportunity since awakening with his evolved abilities. Let's go, father. I want to test my new skills against real opponents. Noah could hear the enthusiasm that Leo was feeling. He could tell that his companion was eager to prove himself in actual combat. Noah led Leo through Esta's streets toward the same location where Valeria had originally taken him for monster hunting alongside Alyssa and Kip. As they approached the hunting grounds, Noah made a strategic decision about their training approach. We're not practicing against novice-rank monsters, he announced to Leo with confidence in their new abilities. It would be a waste of time for both of us. Leo nodded his head in agreement. Novice-rank beasts were too weak for even a warm-up. As an adept, he could slap a novice-rank beast to death. I'm much stronger than a normal apprentice-rank practitioner now. Leo's combat potential exceeds normal adept rank as well. We'll warm up against apprentice-rank beasts, then head toward the Minotaur area where the adept-rank creatures roam. Leo's eyes gleamed with satisfaction at the challenging prospect. Perfect. I want to fight something that can actually make me try. His combat instincts are flaring. Good. The hunting ground opened before them. The same rocky terrain where Noah had fought against his first apprentice-rank beast under Valeria's guidance. But now he approached as a capable warrior rather than a man in training. 2 apprentice-rank crimson horn bears emerged from behind the rocks, their massive frames rippling with malevolent energy that made normal humans flee in terror. Each beast stood incredibly tall, their distinctive red-tinted horns gleaming with magical power that could pierce through steel armor. These creatures had once represented serious threats that required him to create a careful strategy and flawless execution to defeat them safely. Now, they were nothing but a warm-up. The Crimson Horn Bears were significantly more dangerous than other apprentice-rank beasts, their combination of raw physical power and magical horn attacks making them feared throughout the territory in which they lived. Their thick hides could deflect most weapons, while their charging attacks had been known to kill many apprentice-rank warriors. 1 each, Noah declared, drawing his blade with fluid motion from its scabbard. Leo roared before the young lion's body began expanding through his size manipulation ability, growing to something approaching a large lion's size. Time to hunt. His body settled at thrice his earlier dog size, muscles rippling beneath his golden fur that gleamed with mana, creating an ethereal scene to anyone who saw it. The transformation revealed the true majesty that his species was known for. Leo was an apex predator designed for domination. He looks magnificent. It's hard to believe that he is the same lion that was the size of a cat a few days ago. The Crimson Horn Bears sensed the sudden change before them. His opponent seemed to change his size at will. Their confidence was wavering as they felt the immense power radiating from the lion before them. They were facing enemies who radiated genuine danger rather than vulnerable prey. The larger bear's horn began glowing with concentrated magical energy, preparing for its signature piercing attack. Before the bear could finish preparing to attack, Noah moved with incredible speed. His natural agility attribute, already 50% greater than that of apprentice-rank practitioners, was further enhanced by his wind manipulation skill and the aura that accelerated his movement and empowered every strike. The first bear charged with earth-shaking force, its horn aimed directly at Noah's chest with killing intent. The attack that would have been fatal to his previous self now seemed manageable. Swish! Clang! Noah sidestepped the charge with the grace of a master at work, his agility making the bear's assault appear sluggish. His blade found its spot on the crimson bear's hide, slicing through the flesh without any struggle. "This feels easy. Too easy." The bear roared in pain and fury, spinning to face Noah with aggression. But its movements were predictable, its techniques crude compared to the refined combat he'd experienced against human opponents. Brute force without sophistication. Meanwhile, Leo engaged his opponent with fury that showcased his evolved combat abilities. His first attack was a demonstration of raw power that left no doubt about his advancement. Savage Rift Claw. Chapter 200. Hunting with Leo 2. Leo's evolved claw skill erupted with energy as he unleashed his technique. The attack didn't just slash, it tore through the wind barrier itself. Whoosh! The crimson horn bear's pained bellow echoed across the rocky terrain as Leo's attack proved far too powerful for his defenses. Deep gouges appeared across the beast's hide, glowing with lingering energy that continued dealing damage. "This is too easy," Leo said as he pressed his advantage. The bear attempted to gore Leo with its horn, but the lion's reflexes made evasion effortless. Leo flowed around the attack like the wind, positioning himself for another devastating assault. King's Dominion. A thunderous roar erupted from Leo's throat, the sound carrying magical force that made the very air tremble. The crimson horn bear stumbled backwards, its eyes glazing with fear as debilitating effects took hold. On the other side, another battle was taking place between Noah and the second crimson horn bear. Noah quickly finished his opponent with a combination of strikes, each blow finding the bear's weak points. His aura made every attack devastatingly more effective against the bear's natural defenses. Thud! The creature collapsed with a final groan, its massive body no longer moving. Apprentice-rank opponents are no longer challenging, Noah thought, using the bear's fur to clean his blade from its blood. Leo's battle concluded moments later as his combination of evolved techniques overwhelmed his opponent entirely. The second bear fell with deep claw marks that continued glowing with residual energy. "Well done," Noah called to Leo, who was standing proudly over his defeated opponent, his size returning to normal adolescent proportions. "Ready for something more challenging?" Leo's response was quick and enthusiastic. "Lead the way to the Minotaurs." These bears were barely a warm-up. They moved deeper into the hunting grounds, approaching the territory where adept-rank creatures made their lairs. Leo is an adept-rank golden mane lion now. As a superior magical beast species, he should be significantly stronger than typical adept-rank opponents. The rocky terrain in the Minotaur's territory appeared ahead. Leo and Noah walked into the Minotaur area, their footsteps echoing softly against the rocky terrain that marked the transition from apprentice-rank hunting grounds to more dangerous territory. Stone boulders jutted from the ground like sentinels, creating a difficult terrain to fight in. This is where real hunting begins. As they navigated between large rock pillars, they encountered their first target. A minotaur stood in a small clearing ahead, its massive humanoid body topped by a bull's head that surveyed the area with intelligence. The creature stood 8 feet tall, its muscled torso covered in brown fur, while powerful hands gripped a crude but effective stone club. This was exactly the kind of opponent Noah had been hoping to find, an adept-rank beast worthy of Leo's power. Noah turned toward Leo with confidence in his companion's abilities. "He's all yours, big boy," he announced, gesturing toward the Minotaur with obvious trust in Leo's combat prowess. Leo roared in excitement, the sound carrying anticipation for genuine combat rather than the easy victories they just experienced. His voice practically vibrated with eagerness. Finally, a good challenge. The young lion prepared to lunge forward and engage the Minotaur in the kind of battle that would truly test his evolved abilities against appropriate opposition. But as Leo began his advance, Noah frowned, his eyes spotting something that didn't align with his expectations. The Minotaur looks weak. Something was fundamentally wrong with the creature's posture and movement. Instead of the confident bearing typical of healthy adept-rank beasts, this Minotaur moved with obvious difficulty. As if answering Noah's question, the Minotaur turned for a second as he looked around the terrain frantically. The truth became apparent and deeply concerning. The Minotaur's body was bloodied, dark stains matting its fur. It had clearly been subjected to recent violence. A large wound gaped across its torso, the injury severe enough that the creature was barely standing upright. These are some fresh wounds. Note thought, with a growing frown appearing on his face. Immediately, Noah felt alarm bells ringing in his mind. Minotaurs were apex predators in their territory, feared by most creatures and capable of holding their own against other apprentice-rank opponents in the area without issue. What could injure an adept-rank Minotaur this severely? Leo, drop back, Noah commanded urgently. Without hesitation, Leo obeyed immediately. He recognized the concern in his father's voice. The young lion retreated to Noah's side, his excitement replaced by alertness. I sense it too, father. Something dangerous is nearby. Good instincts. His predator senses are detecting the threat that I can't. I only knew something was wrong because of the injuries to the Minotaur. Noah's hearing suddenly picked up a sound coming from the dense jungle vegetation adjacent to where the wounded Minotaur stood. The noise was guttural, malevolent, carrying a tone that made his survival instincts scream warnings. That's not a normal creature sound. What's that sound? Noah muttered, his hand instinctively moving to his sword hilt as every sense focused on identifying the source of the disturbing noise. Before long, the sight that emerged from the jungle told him exactly what they were facing, and the revelation sent ice through his veins. A larger, stronger, and definitely more fearsome Minotaur stepped into view. This creature dwarfed its injured counterpart, standing nearly 12 feet tall with muscles that rippled beneath pristine fur unmarked by any wounds. The aura radiating from the newcomer was overwhelming, a pressure that made the air itself scream. Power rolled off the creature in waves. Noah could practically feel the pressure despite the distance between them. This was no adept-rank Minotaur. The wounded Minotaur that had seemed like appropriate prey now revealed itself as the survivor of an encounter with this predator. The Minotaur they first spotted was an adept-rank creature that had barely escaped with its life. Before Noah could react or formulate an escape plan, the larger Minotaur let out a loud shout, his voice shaking the weak branches on the trees, and then the large Minotaur charged forward.